Got some good news. My lovely wife is going to join me on this one, along with the honoree of the evening, Mr. Bernie Williams. I got good news for Bernie. He may be old for baseball, but he's a spring chicken for rock and roll. Plenty of time in that one. All right, this is for Joe and for Bernie, and may your glory days all be in front of you. Saw him the other night at this roadside bar. I was walking in, he was walking out. We went back inside, sat down, had a few drinks. All we kept talking about was glory day. Oh, bless ye by glory day. In the wing of the young girl's eye, glory day, glory day. She could turn all the boys' heads. Sometimes on a Friday I'll stop by and have a few drinks. After she put her kids to bed, her and her husband Bobby, well, they split up, must be 2 years gone by now. We just sit around thinking about the old times. She says when she feel like crying, she start laughing, hanging down. Glory day. Oh, bless ye by glory day. In the wing of a young girl's eye, glory day, glory day. Take a little bit, Bernie.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Gootz's Disney Pod. For I don't know. Hey, we're in 2017. We're almost to present day. And we're reviewing Cars 3, and I'm doing it with my good friend, old friend, Justin Yllanes. Justin, how are you, buddy?
Buddy, Ray Gootz. It's so good to see you, man.
What's
Hey,
up, man? How's your 2021 so far?
oh fuck, it's great, dude. Do you know that Melanie? So if you're just tuning in, Ray Gootz here introduced me to my wife,
Yes.
uh, which is insane to think that Ray Gootz is Mr. Matchmaker. But
So many things in my life have to fall into place for you to meet Melanie.
like so many things.
If one thing goes wrong, you don't meet her and your kid doesn't exist.
No,
No.
like if I hadn't gotten a job at Caroline's and met you,
Yes,
my
that's
whole
number
life,
one. And if my parents had let me quit when I wanted to quit, I wanted to quit in 2007. You don't meet her.
had
Uh,
you had you not had the auditions for your what was it, web series?
no, we were gonna make a movie. We were gonna make a short film, Laura the 13th,
Yeah,
and she got cast as the bitchy girl.
but if you hadn't had those auditions at Caroline's, because
Mm-hmm.
Melanie was like, I don't know about this, but the auditions are at Caroline's, so it's got to be legit. So she went because the auditions were at Caroline's.
Yeah, but then we didn't. But then here's the other crazy part. So if Dorothy had been like rah 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 about this project and all about it, you probably wouldn't have met her because I wouldn't have put her on Roommates, right?
Yeah,
She was just going to be in this thing. And then Dorothy started getting weird. She didn't want to do Laura the 13th. And I was like, well, I got this attractive girl. She seems really nice. I should put her in Roommates because I feel bad that I cast her in something that's not going to happen. So I put her in the Roommates episode. And then at the last second, Christina couldn't make it. So I had to write you in.
yeah,
So all these people, like if Dorothy had been really invested in the project, you wouldn't have met her. If Christina Galston had been, you wouldn't have met her. People had to just be assholes to me in order for you to get to that moment where you met her.
dude. And but like you do know that right now, like legitimately, I'm
Yeah.
not exaggerating. She could go into labor today.
Well, you know what? What better way? I mean, that's why I had you guys watch Cars 3 because nothing induces labor
Like
like the third Cars film.
like the revving of an animated engine.
Yeah. But
Dude,
yeah, no, so many things have to go right or wrong in my life to get to the point where you and her lay eyes on each other.
yeah,
Because you had a boyfriend too at the time. That's the other thing.
yeah. And then this is a little known fact, but she sweated me hard for like a year, and I was let's just say I was a little busy, and and it took me about a year to get my act together for us to go out on a date. And ironically enough, today is Valentine's Day. Our first date was 8 years ago on February 13th.
Wow, 8 years ago you guys been together?
We've been together 8 years yesterday.
Well, here I just realized I met her 10 years ago. No. It's gonna be 9 years ago. Yeah, I've known her for 9 years.
Because after our first meeting, she was like, "Hey, we should hang out," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then we never. I was just doing things. You get it.
I get it. I know how it is, buddy.
Yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, so now we're having our second baby.
Wild, 2 babies.
We got 2 babies, dude, which is insane because it's hard to have a kid when you yourself are in fact a kid, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, well, not that I know, but I'm sure one day I'll find out. Yeah.
Like I'm trying to figure out how to snowboard off my roof. Like that's what I've been doing. That's what I was doing today. I was like, how can I make my roof into a ramp that I can snowboard off of? Like that's what kind of fucking person puts kids in charge? Like what? How am I in charge?
Yeah, I know, right? It's wild. Like, I don't feel, I turned 40 in January, and I don't feel. In fact, I feel younger from when I turned 30 10 years ago.
Dude, you don't look a day under 42.
Thanks, buddy.
You look great, dude. You do. You look better now than when I met you.
Oh yeah. I looked. I don't know. I put a photo of me in 2007 at Caroline's compared to today, and it's crazy how. But that job, man, that job is so fucking miserable. People would go. I really resent because like Lewis would do that thing. You gonna meet a girl? I don't know. I'm never fucking not in this building.
Yeah.
And like I would say I was saying to I think I was saying to Beth. I was like saying to Beth, like, you know, I never left that building, so I couldn't meet other girls. And the only girls you met were girls that you worked with. You get a crush, you get crushes on them, but you really couldn't do anything because then it'd be like sexual harassment because I'm the boss.
Yeah. It's
So
also a shitty thing to ask people like when they're gonna take huge life steps. You know,
yeah,
it's like, when are you gonna get married? Well, like let me start dating first. Or like, when are you
yeah.
gonna have a kid? It's like, what? Can't I just get off my dick?
But also, you just booked 3 some more shows. You told her that she doesn't have to get off stage.
Oh yeah, and you're there all
And
night long.
where's the time where I'm going to meet a girl? Where is the time where I'm going to do anything in my life besides?
It's funny that you brought up some more
Yeah.
because in the whatever 8 years that I worked at Caroline's, there was maybe a handful of times where I was walking where I like laughed out loud, and they're like, because like when you're around comics all the time, it's like you can appreciate if a joke's funny, but you probably won't laugh.
Mhm.
I remember carrying a tray of drinks, full tray of drinks. I had like probably 15 drinks on my tray. And Samore said the line. She goes, Queefin? Queefin's just my pussy asking for mo dick. And I almost dropped my tray of drinks over. I think that was probably in 8 years the hardest I've laughed at a joke. That was so funny.
That's fucking hilarious. So when did you start working at Caroline's?
I want to say 2010.
Okay. So 2010. All right. I don't know why I pictured you in 2008, 2007.
It might have been. To be honest, I don't remember.
I think it was after I was a manager for a while, and so it must have been 2010. By the way, we were taping this on Valentine's Day, and
Happy Valentine's Day.
happy Valentine's Day. It's just going to come out in a few weeks, but do you remember how stressful Valentine's Days were there?
Oh my God, where you take like normal tables would be like, they'd be like, a table, like a 15 top, and they'd be like, let's just split them all up into deuces. You get like 20 more fucking tables. Holy shit, dude. Valentine's Day sucked.
They sucked. I still have like almost PTSD about this day, even though I haven't really worked one.
Oh my God.
In 6-7 years. But
are you working now? Are you strictly comedy?
Yeah, I'm strictly nothing right now. I'm doing this podcast. Yeah. But yeah, I was strictly comedy before the whole thing shut down. So before the
world ended. That's great, dude. That's the dream.
I mean, yeah, it was. And now if I do it 2 times a month, it's good. So, I was doing the shows in my house, but then they had to stop. So,
dude, we gotta keep fucking pumping, man. We gotta be positive.
Oh yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good, dude. I had a great 2020. I mean, I don't know if you knew Caroline's band meet like about a year ago, right?
I did know that.
Yeah,
I did know
and they were real dicks to me, and now that who even knows if they're ever going to reopen. So
yeah,
like I feel I had a really good 2020. I had shows here. I wrote a lot of new material based off COVID. So 2020 was great, and I needed a break from everybody because I was kind of around comedy nonstop from 2003 to COVID.
Yeah.
Like whether I was working at Caroline's or doing stand up, or it was just always comedy. So it was nice to have a break and just be away from everybody.
Yeah, dude, I get it. It is the being able to stay home, because before COVID, I was doing stand up, and I was also doing event work to like make money. So I was traveling internationally at least once a month. I was all over the world so like I would do like 2 weeks of an event. I would come home. I would be at home with the baby and Melanie, and then I would do stand up. So like that was kind of the split. But now that it's just, now there's no work and hardly any comedy, I'm just home, and I'm actually writing a book. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, what's your book? Is it Tips from Yo Daddy?
No, so it's
that's how he says it.
I don't want to give it away right now because I'm still in the middle of it, but I'm 280 pages in. I think it's probably going to be about 1,800 to 1,000 pages. I don't really know how long it's going to be, but I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's I don't think there's any original ideas, but I think that this is an original idea.
So wait, what is the book going to be about?
I don't know if I can say.
Is it a fiction book or nonfiction?
It's a little bit of both. It's a story. It's a story that happened to me, but I'm going to be embellishing it.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah.
A little bit, because comedy takes liberties.
Yeah, no, it does.
I started writing it as a TV show, and then it came out as a it just started coming out as a there's a stream of consciousness. So then I just kept it going as a book, I guess. But I'm fucking stoked about it. So once it's ready, I'll come back on your podcast. I'll tell you all about it. But I don't want anyone to like hear it and be like, "That's such a great idea." I
won't. No, I won't tell you. But that's a great. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this thing. 100 years, 100 books. Where I'm reading a book from each year, starting from 21, and go all the way to 2020, and then I want to write a book because like I'm reading these books. These books written in the 20s, and there's so much shit that nobody. There's so much shit about New York and about Harlem that no one talks about anymore.
Hell yeah.
And you're like, you know what? The only way, like almost like time travel, the only way to time travel really really preserve like shit that happened in your life is to write a book, because a book will last forever, and a book is just you. A book is a movie. You're working with a bunch of people. There's producers. Same thing with a TV show or a play. People can, but a book, it's like if you want to write about something unflattering that happened to you or your friends, you just fucking write it.
Yeah,
who's gonna stop you?
And it's you're totally right. It's just you. It's your words. That's great.
Yes.
Is there any books about like the pandemic of 1919? Is that
no, I think it was 1909 actually. Was it? Or 1990? No, they don't make every book kind of reference, because these books were written in the 20s. Every book has a reference to World War One. That's like the big thing. Every character just got back from World War One, or is annoyed by World War One, or
That's interesting. I wonder. I'm going to do some research and see if anyone wrote a book about the pandemic I thought it was 1919. This was exactly 100 years.
It was almost like maybe it was like 9. I don't know. It was definitely at 9. I thought it was 1909 though.
Yeah.
Because I know it didn't crisscross with World War One. I know that. I think if we had a pandemic and World War One, we would have been really fucked.
That would have been fucked.
We would have been fucked. But I think like we got rid of the pandemic and then we jumped into a war. So that means, get ready to boot up and head over to fucking Europe, shoot some people.
And get sick again.
Start shooting everybody. Did you start doing stand up while working at Caroline's?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I started doing stand up. I moved to the city in 2006. I started doing comedy in 2007. Okay. So you would think I'd be farther along than I am.
Mm-hmm. But I think we both made the same. You're an awesome, funny guy, but I think we both made the same mistake going to work at a comedy club. I think that was.
That was.
It was a mistake because you got to meet your wife, but
for sure, good things happened from there. There have definitely been positives that came out of me working for Caroline's. Hey, I met you. Come on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you start working at a comedy club as a comic thinking, oh, this is a sure way of getting stage time. And when you're there and you realize they don't want you to go on stage. In fact, they just want you to, this isn't just Caroline's, this is every comedy club. They want you to do your job and then they want you to go home and because they book shows. Every comedy club books shows. They're not trying to add comics onto a show. And so it's like, it's not, the two aren't synonymous. They don't mix well.
The worst thing this is what I learned. The worst thing you do at a comedy club is help them out and work really hard.
Yeah.
Because Mike Racine, no offense to him, was a lazy pile of garbage when he got hired, and he got booked everywhere. The minute you are helpful to them, or that's all they want you to do. Yeah. To just be more helpful.
Yeah. And for me, it's like I have an addiction to working really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so that it just doesn't, the two don't fly. Because then you're like, I would do all the shows or work all the shows, and then I would try to get on like the 12:30 midnight show, and I'd stay till 2:30 in the morning just so I could get on stage.
Yeah, and they would just be like, whatever.
Yeah. And sometimes I would stay, and they'd be like, no, and I'd be like, why did I waste my time?
Yeah, when I started working there, I'm like, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to keep my head down. I'm not going to ask for anything. I want to prove myself as a worker. This is back in 2003. And that was the worst fucking thing I ever did. That was the worst. I should have went in there my first day and broke glasses, cursed out Andrew. I'd be headlining right now. I'd be at the Radio City Music Hall. The worst thing you could, it's such a backwards way of thinking, go to a job and show respect. Don't do that in comedy. Act like, do not show respect.
Well, you know what it is, dude? It really is just don't don't work at a comedy club if you're trying to be a stand-up comic, but just put that work into doing comedy. Like
Yeah.
go do open mics, go do your shit and put your energy into that as
You
opposed
want
to
you want these people to see you as an artist, not as a friend. Because the minute
exactly.
they see you as a friend, they don't want to put you on.
Because for years too, like, and you and I are in the same boat. How many comics looked at you as just the manager from Caroline's, or how many comics looked at me as the waiter from Caroline's? And it's like, it's how, and then you have to break that wall down after you
Oh,
get out of there.
dude,
That,
fucking when I got banned a year ago, people were like, "Oh, were you still managing there?" These are comics that were working at Caroline's, and they saw Patrick and Peter and fucking who was the other guy, Josh, all those guys after me, remember? And I was like, "No, where do you think I was hiding when you were doing your spot? Like,
yeah,
you think they had me locked? They had me in a basement counting glass? What the fuck?" Dude, you've been working there. Like, people still thought I was the manager there as of 2020, and I quit in 2015.
did you find it hard after you didn't have a show there anymore? Did you find it like did when you stopped producing there, did you find it like comics stopped calling?
Two comics that we know very well turned on me. One, a couple of people, but you know what? Right before I was about to not put up with that. I was about to like call people on it.
Yeah.
Right? Right before that went down, though, COVID hit.
Yeah.
Right when I started like really get this comic who I was really good friends with, he's played Caroline's a million times. You know him and you probably really like him. Got really nasty at me the week before COVID hit.
Okay.
Like yelled at me at comic strip. Like he's never talked to me like that before. And I was like, when he walked out, I said to, is he only act like that because I can't book him at Caroline's anymore? And I'm like, he thinks I've known this guy for years. And I was about to like really get angry. And it's funny enough that the argument was about COVID because I said I think they're shutting everything down next week, and he screamed and yelled at me.
Really?
What?
Yeah, really. It's. I totally.
And then COVID hit, and I was like, oh, I don't have to bother. I don't have to see these people anymore. So
yeah. And it's better, dude. It's better to just remember those things because, like, comedy aside, like, be a good fucking person.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Be a good person. Be kind. Like, and if you're a good person, like, how many fucking I don't care if you're a comic or if you're a performer or if you're like, be a fucking good person. Because if you're a good person, then other good people want to be around you. If you're a fucking asshole, like, go fuck yourself. Like, nobody wants to be around that, and it doesn't matter how big you are. You're just a person. You know what I mean?
I said this to somebody when I was doing the shows in my house. And the shows in my house also changed everything because there were a lot of comics I was told not to book by Lewis, right?
Yeah.
And I thought they held grudges against me. And I reached out to, and then when I started doing the shows at my house, and I really wanted, I said, I'm booking everyone I miss, right? And I hit up this one comic, and I thought he didn't like me. And he sent me this. He wasn't doing stand up because he's afraid of COVID, but he was like so nice. And I'm like, you know what? Like, everyone's really awesome. It's just that place that makes you think people are like, you know what I mean? Like, now when everything's falling apart and you reach out to people for stage time, they're so nice. People were here at my house, very respectful. Mike Vecchione was here, Mike Cannon,
Nice.
just like it was awesome. But you know what I said to someone? I said, you know what no one said, because people are doing shows in the park, people are doing shows on rooftops, everything. I said, you know what no one has said during this? You know what would make this show better? Louis Ferranda. If only he was here.
Yeah. Yeah.
To guide this show, it would be 100 times better. No, nobody said that. So
yeah, no, I mean, it's tough. It's tough, and it's you just got to be good to people. That's it. Like,
exactly.
You just got to be good to people because I mean, at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. But not
pretty soon.
Not to be dark about it, but like, we're all just people. We're all born, we all exist, we all die. So why not make the best of the time that we have together? Smile, laugh. I don't know. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Be a good person, because when you're not, and I think you're going to see that when things return, there are people who are not good people that, personally, me, I'm not kissing the ass of anyone who treated me like shit, even for stage time. I at this point, I'm pretty sure that we can all create our own stage time. People are going to come out.
Look at the platforms we have now.
Yeah.
I've been TikToking like a motherfucker.
All you do is TikTok.
Dude. How about, and I'll bring her up fucking Robin Shaw is killing it.
Yeah.
Like her, and I bring her up because she was a person that worked hard all the time. She was always kind, always, and and then when she finally blew up, I was like, she deserves it.
Yeah.
She's a person that has I've seen work her tail off, never stopped, always posting videos, and it's like even when your videos are getting like 100 views or 200 views, and you're like, you spend all this time doing it, and you're like, fuck, this sucks. Like, I'm spending so much time working my nuts off, and I'm not getting any, like, I'm not even getting views. And then, she had that one video that went viral, and now she's killing it. I just couldn't be happier for someone like Robin Shaw, who is deserves it, not just because she works hard, but because she treats people the way that they should be treated.
Yeah, she's always been good to people. Yeah, and that's the right way to be. A lot of people aren't like that, but hey, man, what goes around comes around. Look at Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. So, but I'm having a kid, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Hey, what made you want to do stand up?
I have a desire to not a desire. I have a need for attention.
Okay.
I have to be. I don't know. I have it like it's like a drug to me. I need to be on stage. I need to be performing. I just love it. I just love it. I would do it for free forever if I like. I just need to be in front of people and talking and having a good time. It makes me feel good. I do feel like it is a form of therapy.
Yeah, I do too.
And I don't even I don't do it for therapy. I do it because it makes me feel good. I think it's always a challenge. But I mean, I'm a performer. I went to school for musical theater. Like, I've been performing my entire life. And I knew that I've always wanted to do comedy. The comedy special that made me want to be a stand-up comic was Dana Carvey's Comedy Hour on Comedy Central that he did in like 1998. It just the chopping broccoli, you know that one?
Oh yeah.
It blew me away, and so I was like, I want to do that. And I started doing comedy in 07, I think, and I did it for about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. I was just doing open mics, and I made some headway. And I remember the Ha Comedy Club.
I remember Ha. Yep. I never went there, but I remember Ha.
On 46th Street. So I went in there, and I was given an opportunity to go on to a show, and it was an audition. And before I went on, I started writing new material. And I was like, I'm going to try to do this. I was trying to change jokes before. It was such a rookie move. And I went on, and when I tell you, it was the worst I've ever bombed. And I didn't, it rattled me. I got off stage, and one of the audience members, the host, got back on and was like, I hope you're better than that last guy. That guy sucked. And I was standing in the back of the house, and it rocked me so much for I didn't get back on stage for 6 months. And I was like, I'm going to rewrite all my material. And then, but I was just scared. And then I got back on stage 6 months later, and I was so upset I had let that opportunity rock me that I didn't get on stage for all that time. And but I learned a valuable lesson that it doesn't matter. It just, you take those hits and you get back up.
Yeah.
And then you get back on stage and you kill it, and you're like,
You know who the host was or no?
Couldn't even tell you. It was so long ago. He was actually, the host was great. The host got back and he was like, give him some slack. He's new, he's a young comic, and he's working his ass off. So the host was nice. Well, when he got off stage, he was like, I can't put you on. Which is fair.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't mad at him.
You gotta hit the open mics and stuff, when you start off.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. When you start off, I still do open mics all the time.
I know. Yeah, no, they're good. They're good practice. Hey, so what were your childhood like? What were you into? What types of cartoons, TV shows?
So my childhood was fucking crazy. I'm one of 15 kids. You know that.
Yeah, I know that story. That's wild.
Yeah. I like there were so many kids in my household. Just for the audience, 11 kids were adopted, 4 biological kids, 11 adopted. So it was a really interesting way to grow up. It makes you grow up really fast. You have a lot of chores. You work your ass off. Um, but we spent a lot of time in front of the TV,
Okay.
and that's not a bad thing. Um, it's just what it is.
You're
What it
gonna
is.
real quick. I don't mean to interrupt. You're gonna let your kid watch TV, right?
Fuck yeah, he's watching TV right now. How do you
Thank
think I'm on
God.
this fucking Zoom? How do you think I'm on the Zoom call?
Thank God. I have a friend who just won't let her kid watch TV, and I just think you might as well just beat the kid. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I know people that do that too, and I understand that it like helps with their creativity and their attention span, but at the same time, like my kid she just turned 2, right? His name's Sebastian. Sebastian just turned 2. I didn't teach him any of this shit, but he's saying his ABCs in full. He sings all these songs. He knows all of his colors. He knows all of his emotions. This is happy. This is sad. This is meh. Like all of this shit he's learning from TV. And it's
Yeah.
like, and the kid's he's 2 years old. He knows how to do more fucking technology shit than I do.
Yeah, I think it's great. My mom said someone criticized my mom. She goes, "Listen, he's watching Sesame Street. He's watching Mister Rogers. He's getting a better education than if he went to a preschool."
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So no, I mean like he definitely watches TV, but we also try to play devil's advocate. We spend a lot of time outside. We go for walks. We go on adventures. It's hard during COVID because you would normally be socializing. You might be in daycare, but like that's not an option. Which is why Melanie and I were like, this kid needs a sibling. So it Papa's we had to make a sibling. Because he's sitting in the corner by himself, all sad and alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fuck this, and it just would be different without COVID. But so he definitely watches TV, and we watch. Actually, it's so funny. We do watch Disney movies. Him and I. He watches Moana and Coco on a fucking loop.
Okay, Coco's next episode, actually. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Should have fucking done one of those. I could.
Well, I actually have a comic from Mexico City doing that one.
Oh, nice. Well, no, I'm just kidding. But like I mean, I could recite every line in both of those movies. Those 2 movies are on all the time. In fact, we'll do Moana, then we'll do Coco, then we'll do Moana, and then we'll do Coco in Spanish.
That's great though, because that way he learns.
Because Melanie grew up in Mexico, so she speaks fluent Spanish. So we're trying to make him.
Oh, I didn't know that about Melanie.
Yeah, she grew up in Cuernavaca in central Mexico.
Oh wow, okay. I was just in Mexico City a year ago.
Oh really?
Yeah, we buried my dad there. That's where he grew up. My pops. Remember, I'm Mexican.
I do. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Mexico City's fucking great, dude. It's not like it's basically like fucking Manhattan meets Spain.
Oh wow.
Fucking dope. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, it is very it is not what you think about when you think about Mexico. It is there are lots of times I'm like I'm in the village. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'm in Central Park. I'm not. How am I in Mexico right now?
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time on like the coasts of Mexico.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But not. I have not been to Mexico City. But like Melanie grew up, I think 45 minutes south of Mexico City, or maybe an hour and a half. She's told me she went there quite a bit.
Okay.
So, yeah. But anyway, so like my childhood, it was a lot of. I mean, I did go outside a lot. I played by myself a lot. Having all those siblings. Despite all my siblings, I would go out and do like a lot of rollerblading or biking or whatever. But I did watch a lot of cartoons.
Yeah. What were some of your favorites?
I mean, X-Men was like my favorite cartoon ever.
Mm-hmm.
Gargoyles. Remember Gargoyles?
Oh yeah.
Bobby's World.
Bobby's World. They don't even talk about that anymore. And what's his name is Howie Mandel's so huge lately.
I know they never talk about it.
They never talk about it.
Fucking Bobby's World. Oh Jesus! And also I had 2 older siblings that really I have them to thank for like my love for 80s cartoons, Thundercats, G.I. Joe, like stuff like that. Like that was He-Man.
He-Man, I still love He-Man. I've been buying He-Mans lately.
I was big into G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe I like, but like those figures are so hard to display or collect because they break so easily.
Well, so my brother would get all those figures, those action figures, and then I would take them and I'd fuck them up, and he would get so mad because I was young. I'm 8 years younger than my older brother, so he would get all he'd have all these like all like the coolest Star Wars action figures, like all the original ones, all the original GI Joes, and I would take them and like fucking bury them and do fucked up shit to it, like not because I was 8 years younger.
Yeah,
but yeah, I fucked all that shit up for him. So sorry, dude.
listen,
Ninja Turtles? I watched Ninja Turtles. Hell yeah.
Ninja Turtles is a great fucking. Oh god, that's still big. Like there's still like kids are still in the Turtles. It's so crazy how like.
Well, like, and then it came back that action, the movie, the live action movie, which was terrible.
Oh, that was terrible. They had like a show on Nickelodeon. They had one on Nickelodeon that was like CGI for the past few years.
Yeah. Did you know? So after I booked The Wolf of Wall Street, I got this is the only other like really big audition I got after The Wolf of Wall Street was I got called in for Ninja Turtles to audition for Michelangelo.
Oh, you've been great, Michelangelo.
Well, I appreciate that. I didn't get it.
Okay. Well, obviously you didn't get it because that's what we were talking about. You know?
They went a different direction.
Yeah, you would have had a different life as Michelangelo, but because that cartoon came out about the same time as Wolf of Wall Street. So
the cartoon,
the one that you probably auditioned for, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Wolf of Wall Street had. I don't actually remember what the chain of events was. If I booked Wolf of Wall Street and then I shot it, and then I think I auditioned for. After I shot it, I think I auditioned for Ninja Turtles after I shot it, and then I think it probably came out. So, but whatever. I didn't get it, so it doesn't matter.
So let me ask you this: you have a lot of younger siblings. Have you ever seen Cars 1 or 2?
So I never saw Cars 1 or 2.
So you never saw any of the Cars?
No.
You're Cars free.
I was Cars free.
Okay.
If I saw, there's a slim possibility I saw Cars 1 maybe, but I have no memory of it. I don't think I did.
I mean, it came out in 2006, so you were already an adult. So
no, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it.
Saying you had never seen Cars 3 until I asked you to do this.
Yep.
And so you watched Cars 3. Did you watch it with your kid?
I tried to watch it with my kid. I watched it fully. He watched it. He was into it because he's like into cars. He likes that shit.
Yeah.
But he also has the attention span of a hummingbird.
Okay.
So like he was into it for like maybe 5-10 minutes, and then he wasn't, but like Melanie's mom is here, my mother-in-law, so because we need somebody to watch our kid while we have this other baby.
Yeah.
So Melanie's mom chased him around for a little bit so I could watch Cars 3. And I liked it. I liked it.
So you don't know anything about the Cars universe until this movie. You went in head first.
Yep.
And you liked it.
I did.
Okay. So I can't believe, by the way, this is my third podcast about the Cars universe. Doing this, I can't believe I've done 3 podcasts about Cars. If you told me this 10 years ago, I would have been like, "What happened to my life?" But it is what it is. Listen, you ever think we'd be sitting here talking about Cars 3? Not even 2.
Listen, there are the amount of crazy shit I've done. This doesn't surprise me. No,
it doesn't surprise me. So, real quick, guys, where we last left off Cars, Lightning McQueen was doing great. He's winning races all over the world. The movie starts, and he loses a big race to Armie Hammer, who has just lost his career because of cannibalism. Did you see that news story?
I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Yeah, I did see that.
He was texting women, sexting them about eating them, not eating them out. Just purely cooking them and eating them.
Yeah, it's a Disney movie.
And they shared it, and now he's lost everything. Look, all I'll say this: if you have that crazy of a fantasy, you should wait till you and your girl are alone, and then you should say it verbally. Be like, "Here's my fantasy.
Is this cool?
Are you going to get me in trouble?"
Consent is sexy.
Yeah. Are you cool with me texting you about how much I want to eat you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you good? Okay, here's a contract. If you sign this, because if you go to the fucking newspaper, I'll kill you. Anyway, especially when you're a big star like him. But anyway, I guess I don't know if he was a cannibal in Cars 3. They don't really go into it. But
that character?
Yeah, you think the character was a cannibal? He was sexing the other cars. He wants to eat them.
You know, everybody's got
He
their
was an
thing,
asshole
man.
in the movie.
Everybody's got their thing, you know. I got to be honest, I hadn't given it much thought, like, but I guess, you know, stranger things have happened. I guess if you're a car and you need some nuts and bolts in your life.
I mean, first of all, the Cars universe is very weird because everything is built for humans, and yet the only thing alive is cars. Like everything is like built for a human scale.
Yeah.
But there's just cars around, and there
are no humans.
There's no humans.
It's not like what's that Thomas the Train where all the trains are talking.
Yeah.
But there's still people
in
that universe.
Yeah.
Not here.
Not here. Just cars, and they seem to only like racing.
Yeah, which would make sense if you're a car. Like that's your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
Yeah, no.
You're not playing polo.
I mean, they could.
You're not getting a horse on it. You're not in a car on a horse.
Well, did you see there were those cars that were like cows?
Oh yeah, those are tractors.
That was weird. Like, do they think they're cows?
No. Oh, maybe. Like,
yeah.
Well, what was weird is that these tractors, because tractors also serve a purpose, but all of a sudden these tractors, there's a field of fucking tractors, and they turn into a herd and a stampede of tractors that are acting like cows. But all the other cars have jobs and aren't acting like animals. So I did find that weird.
Yeah, it's like, are they like, maybe they're like just mentally ill cars, but then like Lightning McQueen's an asshole. Like, you know, these poor cars are mentally ill.
But they served a purpose.
Yeah, well, they helped him train.
Yeah, they helped him train.
Yeah.
Do you think they go tractor tipping?
I thought that's what they were gonna do when I saw this scene. I'm like, are they gonna tractor tip? Like, that's pretty. It's a very weird universe. There's a theory that like the world ended and human beings are now, as soon as you're born, you're put in a car.
Oh, your subconscious, like your
no, your body, like your body's implanted in a car because we can't breathe the normal air.
Oh,
because you never see you don't see the car doors open at any time.
That's true too. That's pretty deep. I want to know who's spending so much time thinking about cars.
I gotta do 3 podcasts. Siri.
Right. That's a good theory. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, you know, that could be it.
That could be it because they have tongues.
What I did find weird about the cars, except for the really old ones. So if you go back and watch it, all of the cars, they don't have 2 eyes. They have 2 pupils on a windshield.
Yeah.
Except for the old ones that have like a line down the middle of their windshield. And I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. It didn't dawn on me till like the end of the movie where all of them, they don't have 2 eyes, it's just 2 pupils on one windshield. But they have 2 different eyelids.
Yes.
All the cars have 2 different eyelids, but only one windshield.
Yes, it's very strange. It's the more you think about the world, the more disturbing it gets.
Yeah.
Like you just watch it like as a kid, like, there's cars, they talk, wee, and it's fine. But the more you're like, wait a minute, how does this really work? And
yeah, I dug it. I still dig it. I like it.
So the plot is these new cars now, they're using computers and they're more advanced and they're winning all the races. And cars like Lightning McQueen, they're yesterday's news. So Lightning McQueen's got to go train, and he meets this other car named Cruz. Was it Annie Cruz or?
I'll
look it up right now.
What the hell? I'll tell you right now.
I have it.
Cruz Ramirez.
Cruz Ramirez. She's the Spanish car.
Yeah.
You didn't know that.
Oh, I got it.
And did you say she's hot?
She is pretty attractive. The car or the actress?
Well, the actress is hot too.
I mean, it was a nice car.
I mean, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like that yellow tinge. It was a nice shade of yellow.
So Cruz is training Lightning McQueen, and Lightning McQueen is all depressed. Long story short, they go to a demolition derby, which Cruz wins. And the whole movie, you're like, wow, Cruz is pretty good. But you still think the movie is basically going to be like this comeback story for Lightning McQueen, where he's like an old guy and he comes back, and then he has this meeting because in the first movie, I don't know if you picked up, his trainer was played by Paul Newman.
Yep.
And he died after Cars 1, and so they had him die in the movies.
Yep.
You know, it's just to scar all the children.
Yep.
Yeah. So he finds out that his trainer wasn't happiest winning races. His trainer was happiest training him. And when they finally get to the big race, Lightning McQueen's racing, and then he realizes that Cruz always wanted to be a racer. She didn't want to be a teacher. And he's like, this is your chance. Cruz wins the race. But because Lightning was with her in the race, they both co-win the race, and everyone lives happily ever after.
So okay. So, what was the Will Ferrell movie that he played a racer?
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. So the first half of Cars 3, I thought was Talladega Nights.
Okay.
Like, if you went first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. You know, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be a comeback movie. This car's old, and these new cars with bigger engines that go 214 miles an hour, and Lightning McQueen only goes 190. You know, like, and then he goes and like meets Cruz, and she's going to train him to find his inner racer, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a Talladega Nights story, and then as soon as they switched the script, and Cruz is like, I never got my shot. I was like, oh, I knew right then and there, halfway through the movie, that she was going to be the one winning the race, and that he was going to be training her. Like, I just got that vibe, which I also liked because I like the girl power fucking storyline. I like it. I like that she's like, she didn't have. I like that she found her self-confidence and became the strong figure in the movie. So I dug that. I thought that was great. And I kind of figured it. I figured it out halfway through the movie. I was like, she's winning this race.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, this is this is gonna be like, they're gonna really take forever just to have this guy win another race, because the first movie was, you know, he was arrogant and didn't rely on people, so he had to learn how to rely on people to win a race. The second movie was he's winning races. So I'm like, well, here's another movie where he's got to like, how many times this guy gonna have to learn to believe in himself again?
But Disney's smarter than that. Like, they're not gonna tell the same story thrice.
Yeah, and also I feel like the good thing about these sequels, at least when Pixar makes them, is that they take an effect that the characters are older and the audiences are older. So if you're 5 years old when Cars 1 came out, because remember, Cars was huge for kids that are now like in their 20s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that it was huge for like kids 5 to 10. So if you're 5 or 10 years old when Cars 1 came out, you're now 21, you're now 16 to 21 years old. So, you know, you're an adult. So, you know, you wanted a more adult story where Lightning McQueen kind of steps aside and trains a new person, which
hands the reins over.
And I think it was good to kind of acknowledge that the character is getting older and he's got to change his ways rather than he just wins another race. And that's it.
No, I thought I liked the story because also that's a relatable concept.
Yeah.
Getting older in age and younger people being able to do things that you necessarily can't, you know, like, but at the same time, holding on to that desire to still want to succeed.
Well,
you know?
That's the thing. Lightning McQueen now, as her trainer, he can still be in racing. He can still have the drive to win and win. But now he's doing it with her and with his team. He's not just, it's not about him anymore. And I think that's the great thing about this movie. You know, I was talking about like Buffy when my friend I don't know if you ever watched that show, but
I remember Buffy, the Vampire Slayers.
Yeah, when she hit 20, yes, when she hit 1920, they acted like she was fucking old. They act like all the characters were old by the 5th season, and they kind of act like your life's over once you get out of high school. And I like the fact that there's a Pixar movie like, hey, just because like, you know, Lightning McQueen is like what? He's got to be like what, 40? I don't know, 41. Just because you're older and you can't race as fast doesn't mean you can't keep competing. It doesn't mean you can't keep going for a dream.
Or doesn't mean that you've lost that desire. It's like you get, because mentally, as I'm getting older, it's like I still have the desire to do things. I also don't use age as a crutch, but at the same time, it's like it is a reality. And
Yeah.
when you're a kid, you don't realize, oh shit, like your body starts doing things like it's a reality. Time happens.
Yeah.
And so and like I just went snowboarding a couple weeks ago, and which is a COVID friendly, safe thing to do. And I would double masked. So just a heads up for the audience listening. I was socially distanced. Anyway,
Okay.
I but like trying to snowboard, I didn't bounce back the way I used to bounce back. It took me like a week to feel good.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
no, yeah. Well, I've been working out, and then I did something. I did this. I walked to First and First from my house, and I couldn't work out the next few days.
Wait,
I was just
in
done.
Manhattan, you walked
Yeah.
from Queens to you walked from the 718 to the 212?
Yeah, I don't like the subways anymore. I had a show over there. I've been walking to my shows in Manhattan, the secret show,
Wow, that's great, dude.
and I that was a little bit too much.
That's
First
fucking
and
far, bro.
Yeah, you know why the problem was the it was an outdoor show. There were no seats, so I stood, did my set, and as soon as my set was done, I walked back. So I'm like, there's no if I keep standing, I'm not going to be able to walk back. I needed because I've walked to Midtown, but I sit inside and then do my spot and get out. So the sitting is the key because then you recover.
Yeah.
But I couldn't sit, and then I walked back, and then like the next few days, I'm like, I can't work out. I'm just gonna fucking watch TV. This is
That's what way which way did you go from your house?
I walked from my house to Queensboro Bridge, walked across the bridge, then we'll
Okay.
just walk down First Avenue.
Wow, that is fucking far.
Yeah, it was a good walk. I listened to music, listen to podcasts.
That take you like 2 hours?
2.5. I was walking for about 6 hours because it was 2.5 both ways.
You know what's crazy? Like this is like real. So you live in Queens, right?
Yeah.
You live in Astoria, and you went down to Manhattan tops. That's 6 miles, right? Like maybe more. Well, like in 2.5 hours, I could drive to Vermont from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was walking. I mean, if I drove, it probably only take me like 40 minutes or so.
No, I'm just saying like the difference. So I bought a house right before the pandemic hit, and I moved out of the city, and it's just a weird. I mean, I'm an hour north of the city, but like, it's like, oh, here's a good. I could have driven into New York City for that time that it took you to walk. It's just crazy, and that's not. It just is what it is. It's like fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So I hear you about getting older, but I think it's good that like they're making kids movies where getting older isn't the end of the road. It isn't like you're done, and I think it's good to get in kids' heads now because when I was a little kid, I thought 40 was like you got to be married, you got to have kids, you got to. And now I feel younger now than I did when I hit 30. I really do.
Yeah.
And I'm more athletic now. I'm doing more things. I'm working out. I'm fucking lifting weights when I can. When the gyms reopen, I'll do it more. Well, the gym. I mean, when COVID ends, I don't want to go to a gym with COVID.
Yeah.
I get my glasses fog up when I work out, and I'm not. A couple of times, I've almost bumped into people at stores.
Oh God.
I'm not
Look
fucking
at that anti-fogger mist shit.
Well, you know what? I got a whole different. Here, I'll show you the mask I got. Now they don't fog up. This is a military thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's basically like a ninja hat. Doesn't fog up my glasses, so I kind of look like a lunatic, but I can see where I'm going, and I'm COVID safe. So.
And when I think ninja, I think Ray Gootz.
You got to think it. I was a ninja at Caroline's. I was like, you didn't even know where. Well, 1 second you were like, I got no customers, and your customer shit were there.
And then I'd be like talking to you, and then it'd be like, and I'd be like, where'd Ray go?
No one knew. No one knew. It was intense.
It's freaking crazy. No, so to make your point about, like, I liked that. What was his old trainer, the blue car?
Well, yeah, I did Paul Newman, but let me get the name.
From the first movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the name. I forget the name of the car. It was Doc.
Okay, so I love the point that they made when they're like
Doc Hudson. Sorry.
Yeah. So when Lightning McQueen was like, it ruined his life when he stopped training, and then Lightning McQueen goes and finds Doc Hudson's old trainer, And when when his old trainer was like, that wasn't the best part of his life. His life wasn't over when he stopped racing. The best part of his life was when he was training you, like when he was training Lightning McQueen. I was like, oh, that's a cool message, right?
Yeah.
So like, just because you love something doesn't mean that once that thing's done, doesn't mean that your life stops. It means that there's another adventure on the horizon. Who knows what it is? And I thought it was really cool. I mean, obviously the story was going to go this way. Well, like I thought it was really cool that because then I knew how it was going to end. But then when he goes out on the track and starts racing, and I was like, what? I was like, this is kind of, he's going to bring this other car out.
Yeah.
Right. So, but when he does, and then he becomes her trainer, and then all of a sudden he loves it, like reinforces the message they were trying to make in the story. I was like, I like the way, the progression of the story. Like,
well, I like the way what made him change his mind was how Nathan Fillion was berating her. I forget his car's name.
yes,
Like the way he
Smokey.
you know what? I hate to keep bringing this place up, but it did remind me of a lot of interactions we've seen at Caroline's.
Sure.
With him like berating her, like I want to watch the race. You're not a racer. You're get to work. I'm paying you for this. And I like that was the thing that he was like, I've had enough, and I'm putting you on the field. You know?
Yeah, and that is and legit because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, how do I relate this to comedy? And for sure, just like that, you know, because how many times were you told? Oh, by the way, that character's name is Jackson Storm.
Okay, Jack. Which character?
Oh no, Army Hammer.
Army Hammer, Jackson Storm. Nathan Fillion is Sterling.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, but like, how many times has somebody said to you, and whether they meant to be mean or whether they meant to, like, you're just not cut out for it. You're just not, you know.
Or I need you to manage. I don't need you to stand up. Yeah. That's what Lewis would say. I need you to manage. And I'm like,
and so like, it doesn't help you do the things that you really want to do, and then you convince yourself that you're not good enough. Mm-hmm. And it's not just one time. It's like over the course of time that you're like, and it gets in your soul, and you're like, I want to be doing this thing, but I'm not good enough. You know, like, and I think I personally do that with comedy, with you know, with music, all that stuff. It's like you get in your head, and you don't realize it. It might take somebody else to be like, dude, you're really fucking funny.
Yeah,
like, you're really good.
Yeah, no.
That kick in the ass.
I had in my head that I could never exercise, that I couldn't do anything. And then, you know, 2 summers ago, when I said I'm just going to do it, and the way my body was responding, it's like, you know, when you believe in yourself, if you really believe in yourself, it will pay off. You just have to put the work in. Oh, you can't be like, I can do it, try it once, and then never do it again.
No.
And I think no one can tell you, and people were saying to me, like, you're not going to stick with this. And I'll be honest with you, I would have been still going to the gym every day if COVID never hit. But I mean, the only reason I stopped going to the gym was, well, number one, they all shut down. And number two, I don't trust them yet. So there you go.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I used to go to the Rock Fitness in Astoria, and they have a quote on their wall going into the men's locker room. That was from The Rock. And the quote says, people that want to do, people that don't make excuses.
That's from the movie The Rock, right?
I have no idea. I think
it's from the movie The Rock, because I think Sean Connery says that to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I thought it was The Rock that said it.
He might have said it too, but I think I'm pretty sure Sean Connery says it to Nicolas Cage when they're trying to like the terrorists.
That changes my whole perspective on it. But it makes sense that The Rock would say it.
Well, Sean Connery still, that's good for him to say that, you know?
Yeah, no, that works too. That's so funny that you just said that it's The Rock. Yeah. I'm going to go back and look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sean Connery says that to Nicolas
That makes
Cage.
Sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking great. Can I tell you my favorite moment in Cars 3?
Yes, I was actually about to ask you that. What was your favorite moment?
So it is, as a person that I've directed a lot of stuff in my life, and there was a moment when they are racing. Cruz and Lightning McQueen are at Doc Hudson's original racetrack, right? The gravel racetrack. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? And they're racing, and it's like when they first they both at the same time get into like that, oh my God, we're having fun and we're racing sort of moment. And it cuts from them, the shot cuts from them to this shot of the grass in the middle of the racetrack. And there's a puddle and like there's like a flower and just a puddle, and the puddle's very reflective. And the two cars, right before they cut to that, start drifting sideways to like, they're kind of like Tokyo drifting sideways through the track, and they're like laughing and having a good time. And like, it's so like, there's not another shot in a movie like this where they cut to this puddle, and as the cars go by, the puddle has like rings of water that start moving across the puddle from the inertia of the physics of the cars going by. And I was like, yeah, an awesome directorial moment where they just like, well, let's take a be-real shot of this puddle and the cars going by and it pushing the water in the puddle. And I was like, that's my favorite shot of this entire movie, because it's so like, you have to be really like, the creators of the movie have to really think about it and have to really think about what's happening in the world around the cars, where the cars are making the water kind of splash up a little bit, and then you kind of see the reflection of the cars go by, but not really. I just thought it was such a cool moment and such an adult thing.
Well, the cool thing with these Cars films is that they're very kiddish, except for this one. I feel like this one's a little bit more mature, but the cinematography, especially with the racing scenes, is fucking gorgeous in all three movies. Like, the amount of work they've had to put in,
oh man,
it's just insane. I mean, some of the shots look realistic. It looks like they actually were shooting a fucking racing scene.
Dude, that's the same thing when like I like when I'm watching Moana, or I'm watching Coco with my kid, and I'm just watching like the intricacies of what's happening with their expressions and like the raise of an eyebrow, and it's like, why would they put that? Like, it totally works there and makes so much sense. And it's like, you have to think about how many hours and how many like I'm sure they take the scene and they work it with actors, and they watch what the actors' faces are doing in real life, and like, how do we put that little eyebrow raise right there, or like they have like a twitch that you would never notice unless you're looking for like the twitch. So like, that's what's really cool about these Disney movies, is that like, they're cartoons, but at the same time they're so intricate, and the detail, and like, when you can see hair follicles, like if you go back and watch Moana, you can see the pores in like what's the Rock's character. Now we're talking about the Rock again, but the Rock's character.
I know who you're talking about, the guy with the tattoo.
Now,
yes,
you can see the little dark pores on his skin where they have his tattoos, and you're like, my mind's blown. You can see the varicose veins in his body. You're like, shit, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, no, the and the hair, like, they never. I don't know if you saw that. There's a documentary on the Blu-ray about Moana's hair. Like, the fact they had to create a whole new technologies for her hair.
Dude, it blows me away.
These movies are beautiful. They're getting more and more beautiful. And I thought this was just a gorgeous looking film, and I love the racing scenes in it. There's so much detail, so much the camera movements and everything. You got to give it up at least for that for Cars 3, even if you think the concept is really weird. It took me a while to get into the concept of these films, because I still am like, what happens to the humans? Why did they build, like, there's a leaning, in the second movie, there's a leaning tower of Pisa.
Okay.
It's like, why would, like, this is clearly our world. Like, who, anyway. But I think
that's interesting. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. But this is clearly, I think, the best Cars movie. Now that I've seen all three twice, I think this is the best one. I don't know. You haven't seen Cars 1 or 2, but you did.
I'll watch them. I mean, I liked this one. I'll
the only thing is that the Cars 1 and 2 are very long, like 2 hours each. But
oh really?
Yeah. But you know what? Maybe your Sebastian will get into them. We'll show it to you.
He needs like 6 more months. Because like right now he just turned 2, but like, and he'll watch like Moana and this like musical Disney movies he likes because he can sing along and like that keeps his attention. But if there's no music,
he's like, I've had enough of this shit.
I want to say that I like what's his name? John Ratzenberger.
Yes, he's in this as the truck. Yes.
As Mac, right?
Yes.
So I did years of martial arts, and he used to. You know, he has a black belt in Tang Soo Do.
John Ratzberger?
Yeah. So
No, I didn't know that.
He's Cliff from Cheers,
Cliff
right?
from Cheers, yeah.
Yeah. So he used to take from the guy. I never. So we have a grandmaster in Tang Soo Do, and he used to take from one of the grandmasters of Tang Soo Do years ago, and so he has a black belt in the same style that I have a black belt in.
Wow.
Pretty crazy, right?
That's wild.
That was like our call to like celebrity when we would go to karate tournaments and stuff.
I did not know that guy had I would never know that. If he started doing karate, my head would explode. Like, wait,
yeah, and he's like really good.
Yeah, he should have did karate in Cheers. That should have been the series finale.
Yeah, that's like the antithesis of like his character, because his whole character was like sitting at the bar, drinking beers and delivering
he's just
mail.
like supposed to be this goofy know-it-all, and now you're telling me he knows karate.
He's a postman.
You know, you've changed. He should have won a karate killing spree like most postmen do.
At the end of Cheers, he gets up and he breaks his bar stool in half.
Yeah, he's like, wah!
He gets drunk, and everyone's like, when he gets drunk, everybody is like, do karate, Cliff, do karate. And he has all these like he'll take a glass bottle and he'll chop off the top like Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid 2.
Oh, dude, that would have been great. That would have been a great way to. You know what? They could still bring Cheers back now that COVID's almost over.
Yeah, everybody's vaccinated.
Everyone's vaccinated. They have to reopen Cheers, and he just starts doing karate all over the bar.
That's great. That's not a bad idea. Like a post-COVID Cheers.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought even they should have a season of Cheers where it was COVID, where they have to sit outside in front of Cheers and stuff.
Ray, fuck, that is a great idea.
I've had this idea now for a year. I was like, if there's one show that should come back, it's Cheers after COVID.
Ray, if I wasn't so balls deep in this project I'm working on, I would say let's write this. But now you need to write it.
I should write it and then tackle Ted Danson
in it. Oh
well, no
God.
Christy Alley. I'm gonna have Shelley Long come back.
No, dude, this needs to be a legit. Dude, write this thing. I'll give it to my people, and they'll fucking. Dude, that's a great idea.
Yeah, how does what does Cheers do when COVID's over? Yeah, did they survive COVID, and how are they going to survive post COVID?
How do they? Fuck, that is.
You're excited.
I got a broner right now.
Jesus.
Fuck, Ray, I'm not kidding. Write it. I'll give it to my people. We'll get this going.
All right, I'll write it out.
A post-COVID Cheers. People would watch that.
Yeah, and then they've got to pick it. They got to pick themselves back up because a lot of restaurants and bars are gonna have to pick themselves back up.
I'll write a couple scenes. I'll give them to you.
We got to bring everyone back though. Frasier. Even I'm gonna have some characters from the Frasier show come in.
God damn, Woody, fucking Woody.
Woody, fucking Rhea Perlman.
That's fucking great.
Shelley Long, Coach.
God damn it.
Oh wait, Coach is dead. You can't. Well, he could always.
What's his name? Main character.
Ted Danson, Sam.
Ted Danson. Yeah. Ted Danson's fucking killing it, man. He's got a great show.
He's got like every 2 minutes. He's got a new sitcom.
Oh man, that's brilliant. But I got to be on that show. I've got to be. I got to be the new
generation of Cheers barflies.
Yeah, dude. You get your old school and your new school.
Yeah.
Fucking wicked. Dude, I'll put on a fucking Boston accent. I don't give a shit.
All right, there we go. Woo.
Damn, I'm excited. You got me excited.
Dude, then we're fucking rocking and rolling with the ideas here, man.
Fuck, man.
Justin, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me everywhere, bro. I'm on the Instagrams at Justin Yllanes. I'm on the TikToks at Justin Yllanes1 because there's a 15-year-old out there that has Justin Yllanes, which is fucked up.
Oh, asshole kid.
Do you know I'm Spanish? Did you know that, right?
Yeah.
So my peoples are from Spain, and there's this little kid in Spain that has the same name as me, and I'm like, and he's the only one out there, I think. And somehow, because I didn't get on the TikTok train fast enough, he got Justin Yllanes. Anyway, so TikTok, Justin Yllanes1, YouTube, Justin Yllanes. I got a website with all my shit on it, Justin Yllanes.
Remember when you were the elf?
I do, man.
That's still out there.
Gadget the Elf.
Yeah,
Gadget. You can find that at gadgettheelf.com.
Are you ever gonna Are they ever gonna update that? But
Dude, I was, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I was really good at Gadget the Elf. Like
you were good.
I told them we flew to Alaska. So the story is Macy's hired me to be like the Will Ferrell they could afford, and we traveled all over New York City with a film crew, and I just acted a fool as an elf, and I brought the longest wish list ever created from. It was a Macy's advertisement, and we went from New York to Alaska, and I flew on a plane in an elf costume. I sang songs to the airplane, like the whole time. And yeah, you got it right there, Gadget the Elf. But it was a fantastic. I told the producers, I was like, you guys don't know how lucky you got with me. I was like, I'm gonna do the dumbest shit for you, and I'm gonna do it as an elf. And they were like, yeah, you're it. Like, so I don't know. They just never. I don't think they got their. I don't think it was a returnable investment for them. I don't think they made the money they wanted. But
look at the things, and it's the likes are all like Amanda Brooks, Monica Boyle, Ashley Seibel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I'm looking at the page, and there's like it's like most of the likes are people that we know.
Caroline's cast.
People that we're close with, yeah.
That's funny.
The Christmas right before my mom died. Oh wow.
Dude, yeah. No, that was a great time. But yeah. So anyway, Justin Yllanes, Yllanes, at any social media you can find. That's where you can find me.
Poor Gadget the Elf.
I got the tips from Yo Daddy. I give my kid tips every day, so that he doesn't suck later on. That's some of them are heartfelt.
That's good. Yeah, you've been doing tips from Yo Daddy a lot. Now you're gonna have a double dose of tips for Yo Daddy.
Yeah, dude. Now I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be a girl dad.
Oh well, that's a whole other.
I don't know what I'm getting into. But
stay away from R. Kelly. That's the #1 tip.
Dude, I'll fuck R. Kelly up, bro.
I don't think he can get near you guys. I think I don't know where he is. I think he's.
I don't care. Come over here. I'm fucking up.
Listen, you gotta watch out for those R. Kellys. Justin, thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, if this is your first time listening to it, if you're a huge Gadget the Elf fan or Justin Yllanes fan or Tips from Yo Daddy, or even if you're a Cars fan and like, I'm going to start with the Cars 3 podcast rather than Cars 1 and 2. I've done every movie. Pixar, that is. From Toy Story to this, we're going all the way to Soul. We also did every Disney animated film from Snow White all the way to Frozen 2. Each week, a different comedian and friend of mine who's fucking awesome and funny. Next week, we are doing Coco with Felix something or other. He's a comedian based in Mexico City. It's going to be a blast. Subscribe on iTunes, Gootz's Disney Pod, and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Gootz's Disney Pod, and, just follow the Gootz on Ray Gootz. Justin, you the man.
Thanks, brother. I love you, man.
I'm glad we got a chance to catch up and talk about some cars.
Dude, it's great to see your face.
Great to see your face, brother. We'll see you next week for Coco.